we go. Teams from Aurora, Norwayne, and Southeast compete this morning on the Norwayne Academic Challenge. Here we go. Hey, everybody, thank you so much for being with us as we continue to celebrate the 55th season of the Norwayne Academic Challenge. I am Rob Powers. I'll be your host. The challenge of the show, the same as it's always been. 3 local high school teams compete for points. We've got questions in math, science, history, a few other topics as well. One more time, let's hear for today's teams. Aurora, Norwayne, Southeast. Each team playing for a chance to make it onto our leaderboard. Let's take a look at the standings right now. At the end of the season, the 3 highest scoring teams will be right back here for our championship game, the chance to be crowned champions of our 55th season and take some money back to their school, a $6,000 grant from Norwayne. So let's get it started this Saturday, the way we start every Saturday morning. It's the lightning round. We award 20 points for a correct answer here. We will subtract 20 points for an incorrect or no answer. Let's start each team with 100 points. This is for all 3. All set? All answers here have to do with ships and things relating to ships. He captains the Black Pearl in the Pirates Aurora.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
That is correct. The Ever Given blocked this major waterway, Aurora.
The Suez Canal.
That is correct. A Pearl Harbor Memorial is named for this sunken battleship. Southeast.
USS Arizona.
That is correct. The Sao Gabriel was the flagship of this explorer who reached India in 1498. Aurora.
Vasco da Gama.
That is correct. This Union ironclad fought the Merrimack in 1862. Southeast.
Monitor.
That is correct. The Santa Maria was the lead ship of this explorer. Aurora.
Columbus.
That is correct. He sailed on the Argo in search of the Golden Fleece. Aurora.
Jason.
That is correct. In 1915, this passenger ship was torpedoed. Southeast.
Lusitania.
That is correct. The Voyage of the Beagle is a book by this author of the theory Aurora.
Darwin.
That is correct. For our final lightning round question from the USS Cod, here's crewman John Bradrick.
80 years ago, at the height of World War II, the USS Cod submarine was commissioned. That was during the administration of what 32nd U.S. president, the only one who has served more than 2 terms in office.
Aurora.
Cleveland.
Franklin D. Roosevelt is the answer there. But hey, nice round. That'll wrap things up on that round. That's how we do it. The 55th season of the Norwayne Academic Challenge back right after this.
Norwayne is honored to sponsor a program that celebrates academic excellence. We're a global industrial technology company with a long and proud history of giving back to the communities where we live and work. We donate 5% of our U.S. pre-tax profits to charity every year. Over the past 30 years, the Norwayne Corporation Foundation has donated more than $100 million, and our employees have volunteered more than 100,000 hours. And now, we're pleased to support the legacy of Academic Challenge. Thank you all for watching, and the best of luck to all the participants.
Welcome back to the Norwayne Academic Challenge. If you'd like more information on any of the schools that appear this year, scan that QR code you see on the upper right-hand corner of your screen with your cell phone. That'll take you to the news5cleveland.com academic challenge page. We've got links for all of this season's schools' websites right there. Time for us right now to play Hot Picks. One at a time, I ask each team 8 questions. A correct response here is worth 20 points. There's no penalty for a wrong answer. Any team answering all 8 questions correctly will receive 25 bonus points. Before we get to the questions, let's meet our players. We start with Aurora. Philip, you're the captain. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Philip. I'm a senior. I'm the president of our school's math club, and I play violin in the Cleveland Orchestra Youth Orchestra.
Whoa, that's awesome. Congratulations. Thank you for being here. Hi, Bella.
Hi, I'm also a senior, and I'm the president of the Philosophy Club and president of the Environmentalist Club.
Welcome this morning. Hi, Preston.
I'm a sophomore, and I'm the principal violist in Akron Youth Symphony, and I'm in this year's production of Legally Blonde.
Good for you. Okay, Aurora, welcome. For your questions, we go to Nick. Nick's the captain of Norwayne. Nick, open board here. 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Let's go 4.
4, you got it. Aurora, these questions are all yours. All set? Here we go. Most birds aren't very good conversationalists, but what bird, in the title of an Edgar Allan Poe poem, kept saying nevermore?
The Raven.
That is correct. As part of the deal to buy Florida from Spain, the United States agreed to give up land claims in what southwestern territory that later became the Lone Star State?
Texas.
That is correct. In 2013, scientists were delighted to learn that a new species of dolphin had been discovered off the coast of what smallest continent?
Australia.
That is correct. Let's go to the monitor. Here is your science question. As the speed of the air flowing over an airplane wing increases, the pressure above the wing does which of these?
Decreases.
Decreases is correct. In America, a mile is 1,760 yards, but a mile was once 6 yards longer. In what European country where you can still go the distance on the Appian Way?
Britain.
Italy. Italy's the answer there. Conceit and bigotry might be one way to paraphrase the title of what Jane Austen novel about the Bennet family.
Pride and Prejudice.
That is correct. Back to the monitor. Here's your math question. We ask you to evaluate this expression.
10x.
10x or negative 10x, correct. Island of Gold was the ancient name for Sumatra, one of the islands making up what Southeast Asian country where Jakarta is the capital.
Indonesia.
That is correct. Nice round, Aurora. All right, that takes us to Norwayne. That takes us to Nick, the captain. Nick, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm a senior, and I am my school's National Honor Society treasurer, and I also play soccer.
Good for you. Nice to have you here this morning. Hi, Lucas.
Hi, I'm a sophomore. I'm on the golf team, and I'm also involved in the robotics program.
Good for you. Welcome this morning. Jaden, you're up.
My name is Jaden. I'm a sophomore, and I play trombone in our school's band as well as piano in our school's jazz band.
And you have a great voice. Nice pipes, man. That was awesome. For your questions, we go to Cooper, the Southeast captain. Cooper, we're down to envelope 1, 2, or 3?
2.
2. All right. These are all yours. All set? Here we go. According to a Longfellow poem, what colonial Boston silversmith was the man of the hour when he made a famous midnight ride warning that the British were coming?
Paul Revere.
That is correct. The state of Michigan borders all of the Great Lakes except what easternmost lake?
Ontario.
That is correct. At least 8 towns in the U.S. share the name of what huge palace outside Paris, the site of a peace conference after the First World War?
Versailles.
That is correct. Let's go to the monitor. Here is your science question. Which of these 3 terms identifies the nucleus of the helium atom?
Alpha.
Alpha particle is correct. Impressionist painter Camille Pissarro was not born in France, but in what group of Caribbean islands we bought from Denmark in 1917?
Faroe Islands.
The Virgin Islands. The Virgin Islands, the answer there. Khalid Hosseini's novel The Kite Runner is one of the few novels set in what Asian country now ruled by the Taliban?
Afghanistan.
That is correct. Back to the monitor. Here's your math question. We ask you to solve for Y.
3.
3 is correct. School children must learn 74 different letters when learning the alphabet of what Southeast Asian country whose capital is Phnom Penh?
Cambodia.
That is correct. Nice round, guys. Good job. Way to go. And we go to Southeast. Cooper, you're the captain. Tell us about yourself.
I'm Cooper. I'm an Eagle Scout. I'm our band council president, and I would like to thank our alternate and friends and family for being here tonight.
And they'd like to thank you. Good job. Hi, Aubrey.
Hi, I'm Aubrey. I'm a sophomore. I'm on the varsity golf team, and I am in the jazz and symphonic band.
Good for you. Welcome this morning. Hunter, you're up.
I'm a freshman, and I run cross country and track, and I'm in the band.
All 9 of you, thank you for giving up your Saturday and being here with us today. Really appreciate everything you do. All right, for your questions, we come back down to Philip, the Aurora captain. We're down to envelope 1 or 3.
Let's go with 1.
You got it. Southeast, all yours. All set? Here we go. Before England's Prince John of Gaunt died, he ordered 10 candles lit to signify his breaking of what 10 biblical rules handed down by Moses?
10 Commandments.
That is correct. The hognose snake sometimes takes on a hooded appearance similar to that of what poisonous snake, whose king variety is native to India?
Cobra.
That is correct. It seems ironic the island known as Greenland was discovered and colonized by what Viking called the Red?
Eric.
That is correct. Let's go to the monitor. Here's your science question. Which of these elements has 2 other isotopes with their own individual names?
Hydrogen.
That is correct. During the Civil War, the Union Navy pursued a Confederate ship all the way to what massive rock? A monolith at the entrance to the Mediterranean Sea. Answer?
Pillars of Hercules.
Gibraltar. Gibraltar. The nickname Voice of New England was used in the 1930s to describe what poet who wrote Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening?
Frost.
That is correct. Back to the monitor. Here's your math question. Given that A equals 9 and taking positive square roots, simplify this expression, giving your answer as an integer.
72.
14. 14 is the answer. Neanderthals may have learned to make jewelry from human beings who coexisted with them over 40,000 years ago in the area that is now what European country where Sofia is the capital?
Bulgaria.
That is correct. That's the end of our round. We are smoking. We are smoking. We're back with more academic excitement right after this. Here's our judge from Cuyahoga Community College, Adam Osberg, back for us, accounting instructor at Tri-C. We're going to have to start putting you on the payroll. You're here so often. Thank you so much for being with us. All right. Welcome back to the Nordson Academic Challenge. Before we start our next round, let's take a quick look at our scores right now. Third place, 240 points. Norwayne, 280 points. Southeast, 340 points. Aurora. Hold on, though. Our teams go head-to-head once again. This is our picture-perfect round. Every correct answer here is worth 20 points, but for a wrong answer or no answer, we will take away 20 points. This is for all three teams. Hands on the buzzers, eyes on the monitor. All set? Here we go. In this medieval view of Paris, you see swans swimming in what river that divides the city? Southeast.
Seine.
That is correct. This is Frederick Remington's painting of riders on their way through what M initial desert of the American Southwest? Norwayne.
Moab.
Mojave is correct, yes. Playwright Anton Chekhov was the grandson of what kind of slave-like Russian peasant? Southeast.
Serf.
That is correct. What is the area of this trapezoid, Aurora?
36.
36 is correct. This is the flag of Vanuatu, an archipelago discovered by explorers from what country associated with Prince Henry the Navigator? Aurora.
Portugal.
That is correct. Though it appears dark here, this is a nugget of what silver-white metal whose chemical symbol is PT. Aurora.
Platinum.
That is correct. This is an 1819 illustration of what classic fairy tale about a young brother? Aurora.
Hansel and Gretel.
That is correct. Cleveland Magazine celebrating the best the city has to offer, but the jean jacket worn by the woman on the cover reminds us that the first pair of denim jeans were sewn in what state known as the Silver State and whose capital is Carson City, Southeast?
Nevada.
Nevada is correct. That's the end of that round. Again, we are moving. Don't go anywhere. Our exciting grab bag round to determine the winner is coming up after, of course, we mix it up. Stick around.
Nordson is honored to sponsor a program that celebrates academic excellence. We're a global industrial technology company with a long and proud history of giving back to the communities where we live and work. We donate 5% of our U.S. pre-tax profit to charity every year. Over the past 30 years, the Nordson Corporation Foundation has donated more than $100 million, and our employees have volunteered more than 100,000 hours. And now, we're pleased to support the legacy of Academic Challenge. Thank you all for watching, and the best of luck to all the participants.
One of my favorite parts of the show, we meet the advisors from Aurora, Annie Walker, from Norwayne, Michelle Stoller, and from Southeast, it's Mary Tarka. I'm telling you, the work that they put in, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for everything you do for us. All right, we're going to mix it up right now. One at a time, I ask each team 6 questions. A correct response here worth 20 points. No penalty for a wrong answer. Any team answering all 6 questions correctly in this round receives 25 bonus points. Aurora, you are up first. All set? Here we go. You'll have an advantage here if you can find the hidden name of what heavy metallic element whose symbol is PB.
Lead.
That is correct. If someone gave you a baleful look, his glance would be best described by which of these adjectives?
Hateful.
That is correct. Combine the chemical symbols for these elements and you will name what mythical titan condemned to hold up the heavens on his shoulders.
Atlas.
That is correct. You will be in with 20 points if you can fill in the blanks to get what last name of Bilbo in The Hobbit?
Baggins.
That is correct. You can up your score if you rearrange these letters to name what material that the ancient Egyptians used instead of paper or parchment.
Papyrus.
That is correct, and that was big. This is for the bonus points. If you visit Philadelphia, you can read these words on what treasured American symbol that unfortunately cracked back in 1835.
Liberty Bell.
Liberty Bell is correct for the bonus points. All righty. We're on a roll. We're on a roll. Norwayne, you're up. All set? Here we go. Take a good look at this phrase and see if you can find the name of what legendary Roman, the brother of Romulus.
Remus.
That is correct. If you were in a quandary, you would be in which of these?
Storeroom.
A dilemma. A dilemma. If you combine the symbols of these three elements, you can find the name of what Caribbean island?
Aruba.
That is correct. You can turn this elk and wolf into dogs if you place in the blanks what same word that is linked to the Baskervilles in the title of a Sherlock Holmes story.
Hound.
Hound is correct. Rearrange the letters in this anagram. You will name what software company founded by Bill Gates.
Microsoft.
That is correct. This was the humorous self-description of what inventor whose patents included the phonograph and the incandescent light bulb?
Edison.
Thomas Alva Edison is correct. Nice round. There we go. All righty. Southeast, your turn. Here we go. You ready? Let's do it. You won't have to worry about a bad bite if you can find here the hidden name of what capital city of Delaware?
Dover.
That is correct. A person who is gregarious likes to surround himself with which of these?
People.
That is correct. Combine the chemical symbols for these three elements. You will spell the name of what tiny European principality located on the Mediterranean?
Monaco.
That is correct. Place what same metallic element before both of these words to name a Hawaiian triathlon and the age that followed stone and bronze?
Iron.
That is correct. Rearrange the letters in this anagram. You will name what medieval pseudoscience whose practitioners tried to turn base metals into gold?
Alchemy.
That is correct. That was big. This is for the bonus points. With this curt comment, a Roman emperor refused to pay tribute to what 5th century king of the Huns?
Attila.
Attila is correct for the bonus points. There we go. Yeah, that's the end of that round. Hang on. We'll be back with our final and deciding grab bag round is coming up right after this. Academic Challenge is online at news5cleveland.com/academic challenge. Get this season's schedule, see results, and watch episodes of your favorite high school team here and on your favorite streaming device. Welcome back to the Nordson Academic Challenge. Before we get going, let's recap our scores so far. In third place, 360 points, Norwayne. In second place, 485 points is Southeast. Leading the way right now, 565 points is Aurora. Oh, but hold on. This is our grab bag round. This is another free-for-all. Every correct answer here is worth 30 points. A team will lose 30 points for a wrong or no answer. Again, this is for all three teams. So hands on the buzzer, eyes on the monitor when we need it. All set? This is it. Deep breath. Here we go. In the Pillsbury-Gunsberg chess maneuver, a pawn crosses the board and is turned into what's strongest attacking piece, Aurora?
Queen.
That is correct. The sum of two consecutive integers is 21. Name Aurora.
10 and 11.
10 or 11, correct. Some historians say that Sam Wilson, a beef supplier during the War of 1812, was the model for what symbolic American figure dressed in red, white, and blue? Aurora.
Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam is correct. This girl and her young brother are pictured in their village in what small South American country where Paramaribo is the capital? Answer is Suriname. Suriname. The clarinet provides the theme associated with what boy who meets a wolf in an orchestral Southeast?
Peter.
That is correct. Choice, which of the following is a man-made element? Argon, silicon, or nobelium? Aurora.
Nobelium.
That is correct. 50 years after the Louisiana Purchase, the U.S. made what Western land purchase named for Aurora?
Gadsden Purchase.
That is correct. An Argentine author made this remark regarding what islands the subject of 1982 war between Southeast?
Falklands.
That is correct. Nature, followed by Method of Nature, were the first two books by what 19th century New England author of the essay Self-Reliance? Aurora.
Oh, Ralph Waldo Emerson?
That is correct. It makes alphabetic sense that the countries of Zambia and Zimbabwe are separated by what Z-initialed river? Southeast.
Zambezi.
That is correct. During the Mexican-American War, Henry Clay lost his oldest son at what battle, whose Spanish name means good view? Norwayne.
Buena Vista.
That is correct. This red-colored fish shares its name with what 19th century Italian patriot who led the red shirts in seeking Italian independence? Aurora.
Garibaldi?
That is correct. What trigonometric function equals the product of the sine and the secant? Aurora. Answer.
Tangent.
That is correct. Through what English town does 0 degrees longitude or the prime meridian pass? Southeast.
Greenwich.
That is correct. From the 12th, that's it. Oh my goodness, what a game. Let's go to the scoreboards right from there. In third place this morning with 390 points, it's the team from Norway. In second place with 605 points, man, oh man, Southeast. So that means with 805 points, the winner of this morning's academic challenge is Aurora. My goodness, what a game. Be sure to be with us next time. We'll feature teams from Chardon, Marion L. Steele, and Rootstown. Thanks so much for watching this one. I'm Rob Powers. We'll see you right back here next Saturday. What a game.